Be me, 26, graphic designer. Living in a studio apartment with string lights and succulents everywhere. Decide to host Mother's Day dinner to fix things with Mom. We've been distant. She's traditional, loves gardening and cooking from scratch. I'm vegetarian, do yoga, read tarot. Total opposite. Figure nice home-cooked meal might help. Spend 2 days meal planning. Invite Mom, stepdad, younger sister Emma, who's 19. They arrive. Mom brought flowers. I hug her tight. Pretend this isn't terrifying. Start with small talk. Ask about her book club. She tells me they're reading some romance novel. I nod, sip my wine, tell her that sounds nice. She smiles and says, maybe you should join, meet some nice people. We all laugh nervously. I think we're doing okay. Dinner is served. Made this whole vegan lasagna situation. She takes a bite, says it's interesting. Stepdad asks for Parmesan. There is none. Conversation shifts to my life. Mom asks if I'm dating anyone serious. I say not really. Stepdad says, you've got time, no rush. I raise my glass and say, yeah, plenty of fish. Emma giggles. Mom looks uncomfortable but doesn't say anything. Don't know what possessed me. Maybe the wine. Maybe wanting to seem confident. Maybe just stupid. I lean back and say, actually, met someone last month. Everyone perks up. Mom says, oh? Tell us about him. I smile and say, well, he's number 38. Silence. Complete silence. Forks stop moving. Mom says, what do you mean, number 38? I shrug, trying to play it cool. Say like, the 38th person I've been with. Emma's eyes go wide. Stepdad coughs into his napkin. Mom just stares at me. Her face goes pale. I try to laugh it off. Say what? I thought we were being open. She doesn't laugh. Doesn't even blink. Just sets down her fork very carefully. Stands up. Says, I need some air. Walks outside. Stepdad follows her. Emma stays seated. She looks at me like I just kicked a puppy. Says, why would you say that? I say what? It's the truth. She shakes her head. Says, that was really messed up. Gets up and leave too. Sit there alone with 3 plates of vegan lasagna. Replay the whole thing in my head. Was it the number? Was it how casual I was? Was it me being honest? Clean up in silence. Text my group chat. Apparently 38 is the magic number that ruins Mother's Day. Friends send supportive messages. One says, she's from a different generation. Another says, you do you queen. Feel better for maybe 10 minutes. Next morning get a text from stepdad. Give her time. She's hurt. Hurt about what? Me having a life? Me not being some saint? 2 days pass. Try calling Mom, straight to voicemail. Call Emma. She answers but sounds cold. Tells me Mom cried all night. Asked her where she went wrong raising me. I say, that's dramatic. Emma says, you embarrassed her. I say, I was just being honest. She says, there's honest and then there's cruel. We hang up, go to therapy. Tell my therapist everything. She says 38 is a lot to process for a parent. I say, I'm not ashamed. She says, what were you hoping would happen? I say, I wanted her to see me as an adult. She says, and what do you think she saw? I pause. Say someone she doesn't recognize. Therapist nods. Says, do you think shock value is the same as authenticity? I don't answer. She lets it sit. I keep talking. Say my mom wanted me to be perfect. Say I'm just living my life, but my voice shakes. Don't cry in the session, but I go home and look at old photos. Me and Mom baking cookies when I was 7. Her teaching me to ride a bike. Holding my hand at my first day of school. Wonder if she'd still hold it now. Or if I ruined that at dinner. Week later, see Emma's Instagram story. She's with Mom at some garden center. Caption says, best woman I know. No mention of me. I comment a heart emoji. She doesn't reply. Sit with that. Scroll through old birthday cards, Christmas photos, the time Mom stayed up all night sewing my Halloween costume, back when I was her little girl, before I became someone who made her cry. Still not sorry, but definitely grieving. Grieving the version of us that's gone. Grieving a relationship that had rules I didn't know about. And maybe that's what hurts. Not the judgment, not the silence, but realizing her love had limits. And I crossed them. Another week passes. No word from Mom. Decide to drive to her house. Probably stupid, but I need closure. Pull up to the driveway. Same garden gnomes, same wind chimes. She's in the yard planting something. I walk up slowly. She sees me. Doesn't stop digging. Just says, "Didn't think you'd come." I say, "Well, here I am." Awkward silence. I sit on the porch steps. Watch her work. Finally, she puts down the trowel. Wipes her hands. Says, "So?" I say, "I wanted to talk." She says, "About what?" "You already said everything." I feel defensive. Say, "You're overreacting." She doesn't even look at me. Says, "Maybe." Says, "Or maybe I don't know who you are anymore." That stings. I say, "I'm still me." She says, "Are you?" I take a breath. Say, "What, you wanted me to lie?" She says, "No." Says, "I just didn't think you'd throw it in my face like that." I snap. Say, "Why is it wrong for a woman to own her choices?" She sighs. Says, "It's not about the choices," greater than says, "It's about respect," greater than. Says, "The way you said it, like you were proud to hurt me." I go quiet. Never thought of it that way. Say, "Do you think less of me because of it?" She looks at me. Says, "No, but I think you think less of yourself." Feels like a slap. Say, "You're judging me." She says, "Maybe, but not how you think." She stands up. Brushes dirt off her knees. Greater than says, "You used to talk about your dreams." Greater than. Says, "Now it's just who you're sleeping with." My throat gets tight. Say, "I'm allowed to explore." She nods. Greater than. Says, "And I'm allowed to be sad about it." We stare at each other. I say, "I planned that dinner to reconnect." She says, "Then why did you blow it up?" Tears start forming. Say, "Because I thought honesty was enough." She picks up her tools. Starts walking toward the shed. Greater than. Says, "Honesty without kindness is just cruelty." Greater than says, "Intentions don't erase harm." Greater than. Says, "I raised you from the time you were born." Greater than. Says, "Taught you to value yourself." Greater than. Says, "And now you're giving yourself away to strangers like it means nothing." I stand there. No words left. She doesn't ask me to leave, but doesn't ask me to stay either. I walk back to my car. Sit in the driver's seat. Call my therapist immediately. Tell her everything. Say, "I tried to fix it, but she's still hurt." She says, "What if she's grieving who she thought you were?" I say, "That person never existed." She says, "Exactly. Drive home." Think about every time I led with shock instead of substance. Think about how many times I confused freedom with performance. Post something on Instagram later. Black screen, white text. Sometimes growth means outgrowing the armor you built. Get 52 comments, mostly supportive. One says, "Felt this." Another says, "Your mom doesn't deserve you." I like all of them, but still feel empty. Sit on my couch. Think about what she said. About giving myself away. About how I used to have dreams. Stare at the Mother's Day card I never sent. The one I made in 3rd grade. Crayon flowers, crooked letters, best mom ever. Wonder if she kept any of mine. Or if they're buried under disappointment. Text Emma. Does she hate me? She replies, "No." Says, "But she doesn't understand you," says, "and maybe she's not ready to." Realize understanding isn't guaranteed, and maybe that's the lesson. Still not sure if I'm sorry. Still not sure if I should be. But I'm learning to live with the weight. of love that came with terms I never read.